What's up guys, welcome back to Code with Clinton. So in this video I'm going to show you how to build a shopping cart with Django, and we are going to integrate Flutterwave as the payment gateway. So right now I'm going to show you a demo of the web application. So right now I have this shopping cart on my screen. I can simply add to cart and check out. So I'm going to add some of these items to my cart. I'm going to click on add to cart, and once I do that, my cart gets updated without the page reloading. I'm going to add one more to cart. I have 2 items right now on my cart, so I'm going to add one more again. So I have 3 of these Gucci polo in my cart. If I check up my cart right now, so here's my cart. I have 3 Gucci polo and I have 1 gray polo. So right there I can decide to make payments, you get, and I'm going to use payments. The payment is going to be via Flutterwave, you get. So click on the pay button. So let's see. So I'm being redirected. You can see right now we are on Flutterwave. This is the interface, but it's not that beautiful, right? This is because I am using the text. I am still on the test version. Once you switch the real version to the live version, you're going to have a more beautiful interface, you get. Right now we are on the test version, so I'm going to increase this so you can see this clearly. So let me make this bigger to an extent. Okay, I think it's better now. So right now I'm going to put in my card number, the expiry date, and the CVV. So right now Flutterwave has given us these things for testing, you understand. So right now I'll just simply copy this card number from here, Ctrl C, and this can work real live, this can work real time. So I'll show you how to do all those things in this tutorial, so don't worry. So just paste here. So I'm going to copy the expiry date, which is 0932. So copy that and paste inside of this valid seal. So paste there, and we have the CVV. So I'm going to paste that here. So we are going to be paying $260, you understand. So click on pay US. So we are going to pay now. So don't save. So we're going to proceed. So we were sent an OTP. If you're on the test version, the OTP is usually 12345, you understand. But if you're on the live version, you're going to have a random OTP. So I'm going to put in the OTP I got. On the test version, it is 12345. You can see we have up here saying payments made successfully. That means we've been able to purchase our products, understand, and payment was made successfully. You can see it was made successfully. So I'll show you how to build a shopping cart with Django, and I'll also show you how to integrate a payment gateway with using Flutterwave. So that's what we are getting started right now. Okay, so right now let's get started properly, understand. So right now I'm going to create a Django project, understand. So here's my command prompt. So I'll simply go down to my document directory, so document there. So I'm going to activate my virtual environment. So if you don't have a virtual environment, I have a tutorial for you where you can learn how to create a virtual environment, understand. So you'll find out in the description of this video. It is down in the description of this video. So right now I'm going to simply activate my virtual environment. I'm going to say work on. So work on is simply the command I use to activate my virtual environment, and my virtual environment is called newbie. I said newbie, so that's my virtual environment. So it has been activated. So right now I'm going to create a Django project. Understand? I'm going to call my Django project Django shop. I'm going to simply say Django underscore admin. I'll simply say start project. I'll say DJ underscore shop. Enter. I've made a mistake. I think I spelled something wrong. It says can't recognize. So it is called Django-admin, not underscore admin. Sorry for that. Django-admin start project DJ underscore shop. Enter. So right now it has been created for me. Right now I already have my Django project created for me. So right now I'm going to go into the folder, into that directory called DJ underscore shop. I'm going to say DJ underscore shop. So that's it there. So there is it now. Currently I am in a directory called DJ underscore shop. So right now I'm going to open this in my VS Code. Just let me say code dot. So right now I already have my Visual Studio Code opened into the, currently it's opened now. You can see what we've done. So right now I'm going to simply run server. Let's run server. I'm going to open my terminal, new terminal. So I'm going to activate my virtual environment and then run server. Understand? So that's what we are going to do right now. Okay, my terminal is open. My terminal is already open. So once the terminal is open, just come down here. You can see this plus icon. Click on the drop down. Then click on command prompt. Understand? That's what you should be using. Use command prompt there on your VS Code, on your Visual Studio Code. Use command prompt as your terminal. Understand? So right now I already have my virtual environment activated. So I'm going to simply run server. So let me say Python manage.py run server, Python manage.py run server. So my server is going to come up right now. So once it's done, I'm going to create a new app. I'm going to create an app. You understand? So right now I have this directory here called dj_shop. This is our Django project. You understand? So right now I'm going to create an app that's going to help us create this shopping cart. So right now my server is up and running. So we go down to this directory. Okay, my server is up there. I'll simply change the, if you check closely, our port number ends with 8000. The port number here ends with 8000, and the one we have up here also ends with 8000. The shopping cart I showed you up here ends with 8000. So to prevent a clash, I'll simply change the port number of this one I'm building currently. I'll simply change that. I'll simply come down here and simply say Python manage.py run server 8001, so to prevent any form of clashing. So right now just hold down control on your computer and then click on this link. Click on it. It's going to open on the browser. So once that's done now, I want to simply, you'll see that it shows that we have successfully made a new Django project. You understand? This is a new Django project. So let's continue. So right, I'm going to create a new app. Now I'm going to call this app store. I'm going to call the app store. So I'm going to say Python manage.py start Python manage.py start app. I'm going to call this app store. You understand? Store. So let's see. Okay, now if you check here, we already have the app called store. It's over here. Okay, so right now I'm going to make sure this app is registered in our Django project. Instead, I'm going to make sure Django knows about this app. So go down to your project now. Go down to settings.py file. So now settings.py file. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to simply go down to the installed apps. Go down to your installed apps and make sure you add that app. It's called store, right? So I'll simply add the app to my installed apps. It's called store. I'll simply say store. So it has been added, store. So that's done. Yes. So right now I'm going to create two views. I'm going to create the index view and the cart view. Understand? So let's do that right away. So go down to your app called store. Go down there. So go down to your views.py file. So I'm going to create the index view and also the cart view. I'm going to say def. I'm going to say index. I'm going to put in the request arguments. Request. I want to be sure this is recording. Let me be sure. Okay, it's recording. Nice. Okay. So these are index views. So I'm going to simply return render. I'm going to return the index page. Let's see. Return requests. Now say index.html, and then after that I'm going to pass in the context. Okay, so that's it. So I'm going to define the context above. So it's going to be equal to a dictionary, you get. So after we've done the index, I'm going to do the cart view. So the cart view, let's do that now. So I'm going to say cart and then the request. So I'm going to return, let's put in the context dictionary. So after this now, I'm going to simply return the template, return render. Please subscribe to my channel. Please do have to subscribe to Code with Clinton. Please subscribe, like, and share this video. So I'm going to say request and I'm going to say cat.html. So I'm going to pass in the context. So right now I'll simply create a URL pattern for each of these views. Understand? We have two different views. I'm going to create a URL pattern for these two views. So right now our app does not come with a url.py file. So I'm going to create a url.py file for the app. So I'm going to simply say new file url.py file. So if you have any suggestions for me, please drop that in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts about anything concerning this concerning this tutorial, anything at all, as far as it is about programming or about making videos, drop your thoughts in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you guys. So right, I just created a new file called urls.py. So okay, so the file has been created now. It's called urls.py file. So I'm going to do some import. I'm going to say from Django.urls. I'll simply import paths from Django.urls. Import paths. After that, I'm going to also import our view. So I'm going to simply say from. I'll say from dot import view. Okay, so after that now, what was the problem? So I'm gonna declare a variable called URL pattern. So this is how Django works. It must be called URL patterns. So it's gonna be equal to two different paths right now. So the first part is gonna be for the path for our index view. For this view, the second part is gonna be the path for our cards. So I'm gonna simply come down here, and then for the first part it's gonna be empty. So I'm gonna simply say views.index. I'm gonna put in the name as index, understand, index. So okay, I think it should be called views, not view. So for the second part, I'll then put in the cats. So whenever we go down to /cats, we are going to have the cat page. So that's what it does there. So I'll simply say views.cat. That's more the view. So views.cat, I'm going to put in the name. The name is going to be equal to cats, understand. Okay, I think I said cats. Sorry for wasting time. Okay, so that's it right there. So right now I already have my view, I have my URL. So lastly, I need to register this URL into the Django project. I need to make sure Django knows about this urls.py file. So I'm going to go down to my Django project there. So there's a urls.py file in the Django project. So let me bring down this a bit. It's too big. So I'll simply register the store urls.py file into the Django project url.py file. So I'll say path, and then it's going to be empty, and then I'll simply say include store.url. So right now I just registered the store app urls.py file. So I need to import includes from Django.urls. I need to import includes from there. Okay, so that's done now. So what next? So right now we already have two templates, index and cat. But as you can see, you don't have the actual templates yet. I need to create this template right now. So go down to your store app, to the store app, just here. I'm going to create a new folder called templates. So in this folder, I'm going to create 3 templates. I'm going to create the base.html. I'm also going to create the index and the cats templates. I'll say cats.html and then index.html, right? Index.html. So right now I already have this code from the previous tutorial, from the previous one I showed you. I'm going to simply go there and copy this template out so it can be faster. Understand? So I'm going to pause the video, copy it, and explain to you guys. Okay, so right now I've copied the code for the base for the cat, and for the index page. Understand? So the base simply holds the navigation bar you get. So this is navigation bar over here. So I'm going to show you navigation bar. This is navigation bar. This one taller is navigation bar. So this is our cat page. This is the cat page, and this is our home page over here. So I've copied out everything so it'll be faster. Understand? And you're going to have the source code in the link in the description below. I'm going to drop the source code for all this stuff. You understand? So right now we have our base template set. We have the index page also set, and we also have the cat page also set. Understand? So for the base template, our base template. So the index page is going to inherit from the base template. Understand? So that's why I have this extend base template on top, and then we have to use this block content. Understand? You must make sure you use this block. You must make sure you use this block content to replace the contents of the base. Understand? If you check here in the base templates, we also have a block content there. You can see we have it over here. You must make sure that the pages inherited from the base templates also have this block content. So the block content holds the content of the index page. Understand? This is it over here. That's where it ends. So after that, again, this is our cat page. This is the cat page also. We have to inherit from the base template, which is the base.html. And after that, again, we also need to put in this block content also because you are also in everything from the base.html. So after we've done all this now, everything is going to look some okay. If I'm going to run the server again. Let's run my server. So let's run server. So going to run server now. Everything's going to look ugly because there's no CSS attached to it yet. So I'm going to attach my CSS very soon. So I want to see how the page is going to look like. Okay, my server is up and running again. So I'm going to go down to the browser. So to the browser now. Let's see. Yeah, just refresh the page. This page now. Just refresh that. What's happening? You can see we have the page now. Everything is looking ugly. You understand? This page you see here is the same as this, but the difference is that this page does not have the style, does not have a CSS attached to it yet. So right now I'm going to link the CSS file to our base template right now. You understand? So just go down to your app. I'm going to create a folder called static. So let's call it. It's going to be called static now. I'm going to call it static. So that's it there. So instead of the static folder, I'm going to create another folder called CSS. You understand? This is a folder called CSS. So instead of that folder, now I'm going to create a file. Inside the CSS folder, I'll create a file called style.css. So new file, style.css. Okay, now, so right now, simply copy the code that makes up our style.css. Understand? So right now I've copied and pasted the code. So we have the code over here. This is the code that makes up our style.css. You get. So after we've done this, I need to link this style.css to our base.html file. I need to link this style.css file to the base.html. So I'm going to our base.html file. So at the top of the page now, at the top in the head section, I'll simply link that file. It's called link then. So our file can be found in the static folder. The static folder. The CSS file can be found in the static folder. So I'm going to simply say static, then the %, then static. After that, we have the CSS folder and then the style.css. Okay, after you've done this now, make sure you load static. Make sure you load this static folder. Make sure it is being loaded. So let's see how the page looks like right away. To the browser, so refresh the page. Oh, you just need to let's do a hard refresh. Oh, it's not even changing. I guess there's a problem somewhere. Okay, right now our design is not applying. The CSS is not applying, as you can see. So I guess I need to do something in settings.py file. So go down to the settings.py file. So at the bottom of the file here, I'm going to create a new variable called static files underscore dirx equal to. So it's going to be equal to a list, and it's going to hold the base directory, and then our static folder. You understand? Static. So I hope it works this time. So let's run server. So make sure your server is up and running. Okay, I just run my server. Let's see. Okay, now to the browser again. Let's see. Refresh this page. Oh, it's perfect now. It's working perfectly. Awesome. Okay, now so after we've done this now, one more thing, I need to add up my shopping cart icon over here. Or maybe I might just leave that, not to waste time. You understand? Okay, I'll leave that. That's not really necessary now. So we have my shop. We have the shop icon. We have our logo called my shop. Okay, so that was it there. So one more thing, I think I need to remove that stuff I'm seeing there. Okay, now so we have our templates. We have our templates set already. So what's next? Now let's go down to our models.py file and start creating the. So we need to start creating the model classes. So we're going to go down to our models.py file right now. So now let's start creating the model classes. So we're going to have 3 different models. We're going to have the products model. We are going to have the cart model, and we are also going to have the cart items. Understand? So the first model is called products. I'm going to call this called product. I'm going to say class, then products. We are going to say models dot model, and then after that, I'm going to list out 3 fields here. I'm going to say title. The title of the name of our product in the standard as a title. I can simply say name, not title. I'll say name, and then I'm going to say models.char field, models.character field. So now I'm going to set a max length. Let's max length of 50. So that I've done that, I need to add the price of our product, the price of our product. Instead, I need to add the price. I'm going to simply say models.integer field, models.integer field, instead integer. So that's it there. So what next? We need to also add the image field. Instead, each of our, I'm going to add the image field. I'm going to call this picture. Picture of our, I'm going to simply say picture should be equal to models.image field. That's going to have the upload underscore to should be equal to img. So the default photo should be, I'm going to put default should be nothing. It's just an empty string. So after we've done this now, simply put in the string function. So def underscore xtr underscore self. Then we'll simply return self dot name. Okay, now I should also do one more. I need to work on the cart item. Let's work on the carts. The carts. We're going to simply say class should be equal to carts. This is our carts now. I'll simply say models dot model. So I'm going to simply give the cart a user. Every user is going to have a cart. Understand? Once you come to the website, you'll be assigned a cart. So let's say user. I'm going to link this user to the Django default user. So I'm going to import that right now. I'm going to say from Django .contrib .models. I'm going to simply import user. Okay, so that's done. So after we have imported user, so I'm going to link the user to this user field over here. I'm going to simply say model.foreign key user. So on the list should be equal to model.cascade. So whenever we delete the user, we are going to delete the cards of that user in the start. So that means whenever we delete a user, we are going to get that user's card deleted. In simple word, that's it. So on the list should be equal to models.cascade. So cascade, what's wrong? Okay, so that's it. Now I also want to add one more extra field called completed. So whenever a user has made payment, I'm going to set this field to true. On default, the field is set to false, but once you've made payment for your product, I'm going to set your cart's completed status to true. Understand? Right now it's going to be equal to false. Models.boolean field. The default is false. So once you make payment, it will be set back to true. You understand? It's as simple as that. So that's it there. I'll simply return the ID of the cart. I'm thinking of using a UUID field for my cart's ID. I'm thinking of that, but I'm still kind of not sure. I'm not sure yet. Okay, let's consider. I don't want to complicate things. Right? Let's continue. Okay, so right now I'm going to use a UUID field for our cart ID. Normally the ID is usually 1, 2, 3, 4. It is usually integers that have been incremented. I know hackers can simply guess your ID if it is normal integers. So to prevent any form of issue, it is better I use a UUID field, because a UUID holds 16 random characters, and it's not be hard for someone to guess 16 random characters correctly. You get? So right now I'm going to simply put in the I'm going to use the UUID field instead. I'm going to say ID should be equal to models.UUID field. That's it. Then I'm going to simply put in the defaults. What's happening? Default should be equal to UUID.UUID4. And then I'm going to set this primary key should be equal to true. I'm trying to say that I want to use this as my primary key. Understand? Primary key should be equal to true. Okay, that's it there. So I'm going to import UUID. So just simply say import UUID. So that's it over there. So once now, what do I want to do? So I'm going to simply say For our string function, I'll simply say def underscore underscore xtr underscore underscore self, and then I'm going to simply return self dot id. I'm going to put, I want this to be a string, so say self dot id. So what next? So we have our cat items now. So cat items, so I'm going to say simply cats. Now going to be cat item. So this cat item simply represents the items in a particular cart. You understand? These cat items are products. They are these cat items. They are products on the website. But the cat items itself, they refer to items in a cart. You understand? That's what the cat item refers to. So we're gonna have the. So we're gonna also have the models dot model Okay, so model dot model that right now I'm going to link the products. So I'm going to link our products model to this cart item. Instead, I'm going to say. So right now, let's link. I'm going to link the products field. I'm going to link our products model to this cart item model. Or let me say model as foreign key, and then what next? I'm going to simply say the products class, the products model up there, the products there, and then on delete should be model.cascade. On delete, where are you? On delete should be equal to models.cascade. Okay, so after we've done this now, I'm also going to link the carts model to the cart item model. I'm going to simply say cart should be equal to models. I need to add a related name over here. I forgot related name. So I'm going to say related name underscore should be equal to, as me say, cart items. So this related name simply refers to the child. Understand the child? Understand? You can see we have products here. This product we have there is the parent. Understand? It's the parent. You get why this related name is a child. So if I want to access all the cart items from my products model, I'll simply say product.cart_items.all. You understand? Product.cart_item. I'm going to use this related name to connect from this products model down to this cart model. You understand? So I'm going to use the related name to connect between those two models. You understand? This cart item you see here refers to the child, while the product you see here is the parent. You understand? You understand? So I'm going to do the same thing again for our cart. I'm going to say model.foreign key, and then I'm going to simply say cart, and then on delete should be equal to models.cascade. I'm going to set the related name to related name. Related is going to be equal to, I think I'm going to call this cart items. I'll change the name from cart items. I'm going to call the one on top here items. You understand? So that's it over there. So once we've done this, I'm going to also set the quantity field, the quantity field. So you know each cart item is going to have a quantity. You understand? Let's assume we have a cart over here, and we have some items in that cart. You get? So we are going to have items that are more than one. You understand? We can have like 3 pair of shoes. That's to say that we have a pair of shoes that are 3 in number. So that 3 represent the quantity. You understand? So quantity is going to be equal to a integer field. Okay, so right now I'm going to set the quantity field to an integer field. You get? So I'm going to say models dot integer field. I'm going to set the default to 0. Understand? So at first you're going to have nothing in the cart. Understand? So 0. So that's it over there. So I'm going to also set the string. I'm going to also set the string function. So what was it called? It's going to be called, just space that. I'm going to say self.product.name. So now right now we already have our model sorted out. Understand? So before I proceed, I need to also work on this image field you see here. So I'm going to go down to my settings.py file, just at the bottom of the, just over here. I'm going to create a new variable called media underscore URL, should be equal to / media, so image. So I'm going to call this image then. So after this, now I'm going to also set where our image is going to be stored. I'm going to set where the images will be stored. I'll say media underscore root underscore should be equal to, it's going to be equal to base directory / media. Understand? So media, understand? So this media house is going to hold all the photos we are going to upload on this website, all the pictures we upload. You understand? So this media URL is simply a URL to access those pictures. As simple as that. So after we've done this, we need to do one more. We need to do one more thing for this media stuff. We need to go down to your URL.py file in your Django project. So go down to your URL.py file. So just right there, to complete everything, we're going to say URL patterns. URL patterns should be plus equal to, I'm going to say static, and then we're going to say settings.media root settings dot media underscore URL, and then we're going to also set it. We're going to also set document root should be equal to settings.media root. So I'm going to say document root should be equal to settings.media underscore root. So I'm going to import settings. I'm going to import settings and static. I'll say from Django.conf import settings. After that, I'm going to say from Django.conf.urls.static. I'm going to simply import static. So nice. Now, so we've done this. Now I think we can migrate. So these have been completed now. I think we can migrate right now. So let's go down to our search to the terminal. So now let's run migrations. Okay, so right now let's make migrations. It's going to say Python manage.py. What's happening? Wow. I'm going to say Python manage.py make migrations. So after this, now we're going to migrate. There's a problem. It says line 5 in line 15 in model.py. There's a problem. There's an issue in our line 15. Okay, it should be capital M model.model. So that's the issue. So let's make migrations now. I hope everything should work. Oh, there's an issue. Okay, from what it says here, it says that our media URL setting must end with a slash. Our media URL setting. So I go down to settings.py file. So let's see if it ends or not. So let's see. Okay, I forgot to add the should be the slash should be in front. Okay, that's how it should be. So I think everything should be fine now. So we're going to run migrations again. So make migrations. Let's see. Okay, it's working. Okay, so let's migrate. There's still I'm still seeing some warning, but I don't know why that warning is there. So let's migrate. So I just hope there is no error. Okay, it's migrating, but there's this warning that says, what does it say? So let me check. It says static files, the directory. I don't know what it's saying. So let's see why it's complaining. It says static URL, then static files underscore dirx. There's nothing wrong over here. I don't know why Django is warning me. Okay, now so right now let's create a super user. I'm gonna say python.py create super user. So I'm gonna call this guy. Oh, okay, I spelled super user wrongly. So create super user. let's call it. Okay, now I'm gonna give it a password, and then I think we are good now. So let's run server. Let's run server. So run server. Okay. So right now I'm gonna go down to the Django admin. So we're gonna add some items into our admin. So I'm gonna close this one. So let's add some items in the admin. So I'm gonna say 127. So it's gonna be 8001 and then admin. So let's add some items, some products into the admin. You get, so the admin is coming up. So I'm gonna log into the admin and add about 5 or 6 items instead. So let's log in. Okay. So log in. Oh, currently we are logged. Currently we are already logged in. We are logged in into the admin. But as you can see, we don't have the model classes we created. We don't have the product class. We don't have the cart class, and we don't also have the cart item class. That's because I haven't registered them in the admin.py file. So go down to your admin.py. So I'm going to import all those model classes. I'm going to say from Django. Sorry, I'll say from .models. From .models, I'm going to import all the classes there. From .models import. So once you use this asterisk, you are simply importing all the model classes you have in your models.py file. So after I've done this, now I'm going to register all of them. I'll say admin.site.register. Then I'm going to put in this. I'm going to put in the parentheses and then this list. I'm going to simply say products. Then what's it called? Carts, and then cart items. Cart items. I can't remember what I called it. I think it's cart item. I can't remember. Let's run server again. Oh, my server is missed. Okay, run server. Okay, so the browser, refresh. Now as you can see, we have all the model classes. That's nice. So now let's add some products now. So I'm going to add about 6 products now. So let's do that. So I'll pause the video and I'll add about 6 products into the admin. Okay, so right now I already added four products to our website. I already added 4 products, you understand? So now there are 4 products down there. So what do you need to do next? So this is on the page. This one I've done before. So let's go down here. Okay, now perfect. So now I'm going to retrieve all those products now, all of them, and display them on this page, you understand? So the views.py file, go down to the views.py file, views.py. Okay, so I need to close some of this stuff. Let's close them. I'm not using them again. So currently I'm in the views.py file. Now I'm going to simply import our products model class into the view. I'll say from .models import products. Import products. I think I'm right. I mean import, so it should be import there. Import products. So I think I need to open this at the other side. Let me open the model to the other side of the page. So right now I just imported this products model into the view. So that's it over there. So just come down here. I'll simply say products should be equal to products dot objects dot all. So I'm going to pass the product. I'm going to pass this product into our context. I'll say products, then products. What else? Okay, so that's it over there. So once we've done that, now go down to my index.html page, our index page. Where is the index? Okay, so I'll go down to the index page and I'm going to loop out all those items. So currently we have 4 cards, 4 of this. I just need 1 of it right now, so I'll clear the remaining 3. So let's do that. So remove. So I just need one of each. So I think I have about 4 of them. So let's remove this. So I think it's fine now. So now I'm going to simply run a for loop. A for loop right now. Let me say for. I'll say for products. In products. So copy this guy. Let's just copy it out. Ctrl X. I'm gonna paste it into the for loop. Understand? So let's say for products in products. So I'll simply return the product's name. We'll say products dot name, then the price. Products dot price. So what next? I'm gonna also return the image field, the image, understand, the picture. So let me say products.picture .url, understand. So the browser, let's say, refresh the page. Perfect. You can see we have all the pictures. We have the Gucci sneakers, we have the orange t-shirt, we have the brown t-shirt, and we also have the gray shirts. So right now we are done with the index page now. So what next? Now we need to start adding to carts, understand? So we are going to start adding to carts. So let's do that right away. Okay, so right now we want to start adding to carts. So how do we add to carts? You can only add to carts when we click on the add to cart button, understand? So right now I'm going to write some JavaScript code now that listens for a click event on any of those buttons. So if you click on any of the button, we are simply adding items to cart. So let's write the function. It's simple. So right now I'm going to go down to my static folder. I'm going to create a new file called script.js. So go down to your static folder. So I'm going to create a new folder called JS. So it's called JS. Inside of this folder, I'm going to create a new file called script.js. So after this, I need to link this file to our base template. So now let's link the file to the base template. Okay, so I'm looking for the base template. Here are you. So I'm going to link the file to the base template right now. So just under here, as me say script. Don't worry, it's simple. I'll explain everything to you step by step. So I'm going to link that there. I'm going to say SLC. SLC should be equal to, what was it called again? So then I'll say static. And then what was it? After static, I'll then call the folder is called JS, and the file is called script.js. So perfect. So I'm going to test. So let's go down to our script.js file. To be sure, I want to be sure this is connected properly. I want to be sure it has been connected properly. I'm going to simply say console.log hello world. So if you see hello world on the browser's console, that means we have correctly connected our JavaScript file to our base.html. So let's see if you're going to find hello world on the browser. So refresh this page, then F12. So I'm trying to access the browser's console. It's taking quite some time. So right now I already have hello world printed here. That shows that we have successfully connected our JavaScript file to the base.html file. So right now I'm going to write a function. So now let's continue. So what do we need to do now? So we are now in this place. We are now in this file. So what do we need to do? What I want to do is simple. I want to pick up all these buttons. You can see we have all these buttons over here. I want to select all of them, all the buttons that have the add to cart on them. So how do I do that? So right now you see that we can find those buttons inside. Those buttons are inside of this. Inside of this div. So right now all the buttons are inside of this div that has a class called products container. That's where the buttons are. If you scroll down a bit, you'll see the buttons there. You can see the button. All of them are inside of this div. Understand? So right now I'm going to go down to the script tag now. I'll simply say let btns equal to document dot query selector. So I'm trying to select. I want to select all the buttons. I say document dot query selector all. Then I'm going to say dot. So the class, that class is called products container. So I'll simply say dot products container, products container, and then I'll say button. So right now I just got all the buttons inside of this div. This div, you understand? So what does this div mean? This div, this product container you see here is simply this. Each of this card you see, each of this card is a product container. So what I did is that I went. What I did is that in all the cards I make sure I got all their buttons. Understand? So after that now I'm gonna loop through these buttons. I'll loop through them. I'll simply say btns dots for each. So I'm trying to loop through the button btns dot for each. I'll say btn. So after this now I simply want to add an event listener to each of the buttons. So let me say btn dot add event listener. So I'm going to add a click event. So this, I'm going to call the function add to cart. So whenever I click on each of the button, the function called add to cart is going to get executed. So add to cart, understand? So btn dot add event listener click. So whenever I click on any of those buttons, this function called add to cart is going to get executed. So I'm going to show you that now. So let's see. I'm going to say function, then add to cart, then e. So this e, this e is simply a default parameter. Whenever you're using this event listener, we always have this e. This e refers to that item you are clicking. It is the event. This is the event object. Understand? So what I want to do is simple now. Whenever I click on it, what I want to do is this now. Whenever I click on any of those buttons, I want to make sure I console that button in the browser's console. I want to print out the button. Whenever I click on any of the button, let's print the button in the browser's console. So as let me say let btn equal to e.target. E.target refers to that item you clicked on. You understand? The item you clicked on. You understand? The item you are clicking on is called button. This button, right? So e.target is the item you clicked on. So let me say console.log btn. Let's see. So you can see this btn you have here is different from the btn you have here. They are different, so they are not the same. You get, because this one is instead of a different scope, this one is CS instead of a different scope. You understand? So that's it. Okay, so right now I'll simply console the button. Let's see now. So refresh the page. So click. You can see we have the button here. If you click on this, click, you can see we have them there. You can see they are simply being consoled out on the browser's console. So what I want to do now is this. Now I want to simply add to cart. Understand? So I don't want to print out I don't want to print out the button in the browser's console. I want to add items to cart. So how do we go about this? Nice, simple. So what I want to do is this now. I want to simply get the ID of each of these products. Whenever I click on this product, I want to get the ID of this particular product. So whenever I click on this particular product, I want to get the ID of this product. So how do I do that now? So right now, I need to add the ID of this product inside the button. It's not a must, but I want to add it inside the button. I'm going to simply say value should be equal to products dot ID. So that's what I want to do now. So whenever I click on this, so right now go down to the script tag now. So what I'm doing now is this. As me say, let's product ID. Let's product underscore ID. equal to e.target. E.target simply refers to the item you are clicking, the item you clicked on, which is the button. That's the e.target. So I want to get the value. I want to get the product ID, right? As let me say, and you can check here. If you see closely now, I am storing the product ID inside the value attribute of the button. So I'll just come over here now and let me say e.target.value. That's gonna give me the product ID. That's gonna give me the product ID. Understand? So right now, I'm gonna simply console.log. I'll say product underscore ID. So let's console.log that. So to the browser, let's refresh. Let's take it. Okay. So click on add to cart. You can see I have the ID of this product, which is 2. Click on this. I have the ID of this one. You can see them. They are showing here, but I'm going to my mouse now. That's why I can't increase the size of my console. So right now, I want to send the ID of this product to the backend. I want to send the ID to the backend in the sense. So I click on, just scroll down, click on this, add to cart. You can see I have the ID of each of these products now. I have them available to me. Perfect. So what I want to do now is this. So it's simple. So what to do now is I want to send this ID to the backend, right? So how do I go about that? So before we send to the backend, so before I send this ID to the backend, I want to simply create a view that's going to accept this ID I want to send. So I'm going to create a view that's going to collect them. So let's create a view right now. So go down to your views.py file, to the views.py file. So I'm going to call this view add to cart. I'm going to simply say def add underscore add to cart. So I'm going to give it a request. So now after this, now I'm going to simply return a JSON response. So whenever a view is expecting something from the front end, it always returns a JSON response. You get? Whenever we're expecting something from the front end on a view, we always return a JSON response. You get? So I'm going to say return JSON response. Return JSON response. What's it called? JSON response. Return JSON response. I'm going to simply say it's working. So if everything goes fine, if everything goes well, we are going to have this string consoled out on the browser's console. Instead, I'm going to say safe equal to false. So that's it now. So I need to import JSON response again. I'm going to say from Django.http import JSON response. So that's nice. Okay, now so I've imported the JSON response already. So what next? So I need to create a URL for this view. So let's do that right now. You should be familiar with that by now. So let's create a URL. It's called path, and then I'm going to simply say add to cart, add to underscore cart, and then I'm going to simply say views.add to cart, views.add to cart, add underscore to cart. Oh, what's happening? I expected it to like suggest it for me, but it did not. So I'm going to simply say name should be equal to add. So that's it over there. So now to do it to my script.js file now. So what I want to do is simple. I want to simply send this ID. I want to send the ID to that view I just created now. So how do I send it? I'm going to send it through a URL. I'm going to create a new variable called URL. I'm going to set the URL equal to this path. Understand? Let me copy this now and I'll paste that here. So that's it there. So what do I want to send? I want to send this product ID, right? So how do I go about that? So I'll simply come down here. I'll simply say let's data. This is what we are sending. We are sending this data to the backend. So this data is going to be equal to a JavaScript object. It's going to be equal to this dictionary. So I'm going to simply say ID should be equal to product ID. You understand? So that's it over. So now we are sending this data to the backend, and this data is simply holding our product ID. You get, so I'm going to use a fetch API to send this data to the back end, to the view I just created. I'm going to simply say fetch. I'm going to simply say fetch now. So I'm going to fetch now. So I'm going to see the fetch URL. So this URL is so we are going to send this data through to the view through this URL. So I'm going to say fetch. Then since we are sending something to the backend, since we are sending something, it's going to be a post request. We are trying to post this ID to the backend. We are posting to the backend. So it's going to be a method of post. So it's going to be a post method. Now I'm going to say post. I think I'm correct. Okay, so right now, so this should be that should not be in a string. It should be method, and then I'm going to simply say posts. After this, now I'm going to set the headers. Going to be equal to a. So I'm going to say headers. I'm going to say content type. Then should be application/JSON application, because application/JSON, because we are sending a JSON data to the backend. Understand? So after we've done this, now I also need to set the body, if I'm right. The body, yeah, the body. So what next? The body. Now the body is the data. Body is going to be equal to JSON.stringify. So I am going to convert this data to a JSON data. I'm going to say JSON.stringify. I'm going to simply say data. So right now, that's it now. So after you've done this, now I'm going to put in the dot then. So we're going to have the dot then. We're going to have two dots then. So this dot, so this first one is going to be, so because we are going to be expecting something in return from the back end. So this first dot then is going to be the JSON format of the data we are expecting. So I'm going to simply say, so it's going to be the JSON format. It's going to be response.json. So after this, now I want to get the actual data, because we'll be expecting something from we are going to be expecting something from the back end. So this is going to be the actual data we'll be expecting. Understand? So that's going to be, what's it going to be called? So I'll simply say console.log data. So this data you see here is simply what we have here. Let me show you. It's simply this. It's working. This is what we are going to print out. This is the data I'm talking about. Understand? So let's continue. So now, right now, everything is not working yet. We need to add one more thing. Understand? So whenever we are making a post request in Django, we always include the CSRF token in the form. Right now, we are also making a post request in Django, but we are doing it in a different way. We are using JavaScript, right? So we need to also add this post request. So how do we go about this? It's simple. So we'll go down to the browser. I'm going to simply search for Django Ajax CSRF token. So Django Ajax CXRF token. So I need this. So it's where Django does its own. So let's see. So so click on this first link. Click on the first link. So what's happening? So just scroll down. Oh, I can't find this CSRF token. Look, I think it's the second link, not the first link. Click on the second link. The second link. Okay, what's happening? Don't waste my time. Okay, I need to copy. I want to copy this function. Just copy this function, and then simply come to the top of the page. So let's go to the top of the page now. I'm going to paste this at the top of the page, at the top, very top. So this is our own CSRF token here. So one more thing before we are done. One more thing. Just scroll down again. We need to add this XCSRF token. We need to add this to our headers. Just copy and then come over here. Just scroll down. Just here. Perfect. Now, so we have the content type, and we also have our CSRF token. So right now we can send this ID to the backend without any form of issue. No, without any form of issue at all. So right now, just come down here. I want to show you something. So once you see this message printed on the console, once you see this on this console, that means everything is working fine. So now let's go down to the browser. So once you see that message on the console, everything is perfect. So now let's try again. So click on add to carts right now. Oh, it threw an error. It says, let's see what the error says. The error is not okay. Let's see from the console. Okay, I think I found a problem myself. I think I found the issue. So go down to your browser. Right here, I spelled then wrongly. I spelled then wrongly, and also up here I spelled content wrongly. It should be content, not content. And I need to also add this dot catch. So in case there's an error, it's going to tell us what the error is. I'm going to say dot catch. I'm going to say error. So it's going to simply console.log. It's going to simply console the error whenever there's an error. Understand? So that's what I want to do. So I'm going to simply say console.log error. So let's see to the browser, refresh the page. So let's add to carts. Perfect. You can see we have it is working now. That means we are able to send the IDs of these products to the back end. That's what it means. So if I click on this, perfect. That means we're able to send each of these IDs to the back end now. So that's nice. So now I'm going to go down to this view. So I'm going to go down to the view I created here. So right here I'm going to accept this. I'm going to accept the IDs. Now I'm going to simply come down here, create a new variable called data. I'm going to say data should be equal to JSON.load. So that's going to be request.body. So I'm simply trying to get this body. You can see we check our script tag, our script.js file. We have this body over here. So this is what I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get the content of this body, which is the data. And this data is coming from up here. Our data is holding the product ID, and that's what I'm getting over here. What I'm getting over here, understand? So right now I'll simply import JSON at the top. Import JSON. So right now I want to get this ID now. I'm going to say product underscore ID should be equal to data square brackets ID. You check closely from our script.js file. ID is the key pointing to product ID. So you can only access this. This product ID by this key, and the key is called ID. You understand? So that's it over there. So what next? Now to the view. So right now we have this ID. So what do I want to do now? So I want to simply get. I want to get the product that has this ID. I want to get the product that has this ID. So I'm going to simply say product should be equal to product dot object dot get ID equal to product ID. So that's what I want to do there. So it's as simple as that. So that's it over there. So right now we can only add to cart if a user is logged in. If you are not logged in, I'm sorry, we can't add to cart yet. But in the next tutorial, I'm gonna show you how to add to cart when you are not logged in. I'm going to show you how to add to cart as an anonymous user. I'm going to show you how to use Django session to add to cart when you're not logged in. You understand? I'll show you. It's very simple. You get. So right now we've been able to get a product of whatever button we click. You understand? If I click on this button, I'll be able to get this product in the back end. If I click on this button, I'll be able to get this product in the back end. So that done. So what next? So that we've done this now, I want to add this product to our cart. So how do we go about that? As I said, we can only add to carts when you are logged in. For now. But later I'm gonna show you how to do that while you are not logged in. You understand? So I'm gonna simply say if request .user .is authenticated. So I'm simply checking if the user is logged in. If the user is logged in, what do I want to do? I want to simply create a cart item. Before I create the cart item, I want to simply create a cart. Understand? I'm going to simply say cart then created. So what I want to do now is this. Now I want to simply create. I'm going to simply check if this user has a cart. If the user has a cart already, I'll simply retrieve the cart. But if the user does not have a cart yet, I'm going to help the user create a cart. That's what I want to do here. So I'm going to simply say cart.objects.get underscore or create. So that's what I'm trying to do now. So I think it's okay. Let's see. Do I have? So let's import carts from the models.py file. I just imported carts. Okay, so right now what I'm doing now is this. Now I'm simply checking. I'm simply checking if the user already has a cart. If the user has a cart, I will simply get this cart. But if the user does not have a cart, but if this user does not have a cart yet, I will simply help this user create a new cart. That's what this get or create does. You understand? It must always have this created with it. You understand? So right now I'm creating a cart based on the user attributes. We check closely. This cart has a field called user. You understand? User. I'm going to set the user equal to the logged in user. Request .user. And right now I'm going to also set completed equal to false. So that's it now. So right now I'm going to create a cart item through this. I'm going to create a cart item through this same process. But before I create a cart item, I'm going to simply print out this cart. I'm going to simply say print cart. So let's see the cart. I'm going to see the ID of this cart in the bottom. We're going to see the ID at the bottom in this terminal. Go to the browser now, refresh the page. So click on add to cart. Now let's go down to the terminal. You can see we have this long ID. This is the ID of the cart. You see? So perfect. Okay, now so what do I want to do next? Now I want to simply create a cart item based on the products we got. I want to create a cart item for this cart based on the products we are getting here. Understand? That's what I want to do now. I'm going to simply say cart item. I'm going to say created. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to simply say, and right now, so I need to also import cart item. I'm going to see if this is recording. Perfect, recording. So I need to also import cart item. So here it is. So as we say equal to cart item dot objects dot get or create. So I'm creating a cart item. We check my right hand side. I'm creating a cart item based on the product and the cart. So let's do that right now. I'm going to close this guy. So I'm creating a cart item based on the product and the carts, and also based on the cart. I'm going to say cart item.object.get. So if this cart item already exists, I don't want to create it again. I want to simply get it and also increase the quantity. You understand? If the cart item already exists in the cart, I don't want to create a new cart item. I want to simply get this cart item and also increase the quantity of this cart item. That's what I want to do. So right now, the cart item does not exist. So what do I want to do now? It's simple. I'll simply say cart item.object.get or create. I'll simply say cart. The cart is going to be equal to this cart we just created up here. It's going to be equal to that. It's going to be equal to cart over there. After that, I'm going to simply do what else? I'm going to also add the product. So I'm creating a cart item for this cart and also for this product. I'm going to also say products should be equal to product, understand? So that's it now. So let's see this again. So I'm going to simply print cart item. I hope everything works properly. Print cart item. So let's see. So the browser, refresh the page. I also hope there is no error. So click. Oh, there's an error. I was kind of expecting this error, but it said something. Name car is not defined. Where did I declare? Line 27. Okay, let's run server again. Let's run server. Okay, to the browser, refresh this page. So add to cart. Okay, it's working, add to cart. So to the browser now, you can see we have the orange t-shirts, we have the Gucci sneakers. So right now, I just created a cart item for this cart. You understand? So one more thing, I want to also increase the quantity of this cart item. I want to increase the quantity in the stance. Let's do that right away. I was going to say cart item dot quantity should be plus equal to 1. Plus equal to 1. So whenever that's what I want to do now. So that's it over there. So we created a cart. So after that, we made the cart item for the cart, and also how to increase the quantity of the cart item. You understand? That's what I just did over there. So now let's start afresh. Refresh this page. So click on add to carts, add to carts, add to carts. Perfect. Go down to the admin. So click on carts. You can see we only have one cart. We have been adding to carts, but we only have one cart. Why? That's because if you check closely what I did here, we simply get or we create a cart. So if a cart already exists, don't create a new one. That's what this function does here. This get or create, understand? So if a cart exists, don't create a new cart. Use the existing cart. That's what you're doing over here. You understand? So for the cart item, what are we doing? What I'm doing is this. If a cart item already exists, don't create a new cart item. Simply update the quantity. So we'll simply update the quantity. You understand? That's what we are doing. So that is as simple as that. So to the browser now. So you have this cart created already. So click on it. It's set to false. You can see it is still not true. Okay, that is true. So click on the cart items. We have 3 cart items. I'm going to click on this gray t-shirt. The quantity is still 0. Let's see this. Let's check again. Click on orange t-shirt. Oh, okay. Let's see what the problem. I'm going to check out what the problem is. Click on Gucci sneakers. Oh, they are all set to 0. They should be 1, not 0. They should be more than 0 in the system, because since they exist, that means their quantity should. Okay, I forgot to save. I'm going to say cart item dot save. So I forgot to save. I need to save that. So now I'm going to simply delete this cart. So I'm going to delete this cart right now. Delete. Yes, I'm sure. Okay, now to the browser. So I'm going to simply add some carts now. I'm going to add some cart items. Add. click on that. Added this twice. Orange t-shirt is 2 now. This is also, click on it. This is also 2. We have 2 sneakers and we have 2 orange t-shirts. So to the browser, refresh this page. So come over here to this cart items, refresh here. So click on this. You can see the quantity is 3. Okay, that means I added it 3 times. Okay, we have 3 Gucci sneakers. Come over here, and we should have 2 orange shirts. Perfect, perfect. So right now we are able to create a cart. Right now we're able to create a cart, and we're also able to create a cart item. And we're also able to create cart items for the carts. Understand? So you can see this cart item called t-shirt has 2 quantities. 2 of it in this cart. In this cart you see up here. So that's perfect. So right now, what do I want to do now? I want to simply fetch out this data into the cart page. So how do I go about that? So let's do that right away. So right now I'm going to stop the video here. I'm going to stop the video here. The video is already too long. I'm going to stop here. So in the part 2 we're going to continue.